Hey, it's me, Vicky Marie. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in this crazy world. So, I'm going to give you a bit of an update, though again, no arrests. Well, there has been arrests made, but not the person who kidnapped Nancy. But we're going to talk about the Nancy Guthrie case every morning. I'm going to give you a quick update. Normally I do it earlier, don't I? But I had to be up and out early this morning to take number one son to work. So this is the first opportunity I've got to come on. Uh, so a little bit going a little bit slow today because and I have some news as well. So thank you for the donations for my new computer. And I've not got enough for a new computer yet, but what I have done is invested some of it on some new gadgets to improve this computer, like internet, etc., internet speed. So it should be a bit better. Um, anyway, let me know what you think. It seems it should stream better. I should be able to show videos better. Let's see. But thank you so much for enabling me to do that. Yeah, this is what we're going to talk about, Nancy, today, and any developments. But first of all, I want to say my thank yous. Please like, please subscribe. Thank you. I appreciate all of you that contribute positively to my channel. Special thank you to my members. Members live tonight. Remember, it's changed to Friday. We're going to be talking about some unexplained mysteries, some really creepy things that I've found on the internet. I've frightened myself to death researching for these things. But it's much better when you're watching it with somebody else. Thank you to those of you who've bought me Ko-fis, who sent super stickers, emailed me with suggestions for cases, or just generally left nice messages, who care about the victims that we talk about on this channel. Thank you so much. Okay, so what else did I want to talk about? I haven't done any proper waffle for ages, actually, but yeah, this I'm going to do a little bit of waffle before we start. So this morning, as I was driving, it's quite a long drive to take my son to work. It's a very pretty drive, but a windy road. I did put a video up the other day of it. I'm going to do a video one night of it. It is such a creepy drive as well. I swear I've seen a ghost on the road there, and I'm going to video it, and then we'll watch it together and see if you see anything. There's one part on this road that I get this really strong feeling that there's somebody by the wayside there, like just standing there, a woman it is. Anyway, it's just a feeling that I get, and it's only in the night time. I don't get it in the daytime. It's just so creepy. But I'm going to video it and show you. But as I was driving back this morning, I was thinking about, why do bad things happen to nice people? I believe in God. I think I call myself a Christian. I have faith in God, and I believe in purpose in life. And but sometimes when bad things like what has happened to Nancy, and Nancy was a lady who attended church every week, seems to have been such a nice person. And this, of course, for anyone who doesn't know, this is Nancy Guthrie we're talking about, is the 85-year-old woman kidnapped from her bed in the middle of the night, literally ripped from her bed, as the sheriff has described it, taken. And we don't, a month ago nearly, it's nearly a month. On Sunday, it will be 4 weeks, won't it? And we still don't know who took her, why they took her, what they did with her, how they got there, how they escaped, what the blood was on the steps. We just, there's no answers to any questions. And yeah, I started thinking about it, and I was thinking, why do bad things happen to nice people? There's some right twonks out there, some real bad people in this world, and they seem to live till they're sort of, in their 90s. And so, I mean, I'm not saying that Nancy is dead, because we don't know that she is. It just doesn't look very positive. But whether she's dead or not, even if she was found tomorrow safe and well, the trauma that this woman has been through, the mental trauma. So why, I was questioning this morning, questioning God, if you like, or, depending on what your faith is, most faiths are similar when you get down to the nitty gritty of it. Just maybe, we call people different things, or we pray in different ways. But ultimately, it all comes down to the same thing, isn't it? We believe in a higher power. Um, and, I believe there is a purpose to life. I have no bloody idea what it is sometimes. Is it just a practice? I sort of believe that you do decide before you come onto this earth the challenges that you're going to face. It's almost like you set yourself those challenges. Is it? And you're here because you've got a purpose to be here, and then when your purpose is over, then you go back to the afterlife. But I do believe in a pre-life. I believe in a pre-life where people, or spirits, decide what they're going to do on this earth. Is this like some sort of big Hunger Games type? Is life like some big Hunger Games type experiment, and we have to go these if things happen to us in this life because we've done these bad things in previous lives? Are we all on different, planes, like aiming towards a different level? I don't know, and I suppose we won't know for sure until the day comes that the good Lord calls us, or that it's our time to go. But yeah, I was thinking, why has this happened to Nancy? There's a lot of horrible people out there that you think, why doesn't it happen to them? Why has it happened to Nancy? And I got a bit sort of upset thinking about it. Anyway, I found a prayer just popped up on my feed, on my YouTube feed, and I've just listened to that and prayed. I do feel better I feel better, but I still don't understand. I don't understand the whats and wheres of life. Sometimes it's unbearable, isn't it, to think of all the people suffering and children. And so you have to put your psychic shield. So I had to put my psychic shield around me. Sometimes I forget to do that, and things just overwhelm me completely. There's not only worrying about, my own problems and my family's problems, and but also all these cases and people suffering, and the Epstein files, I think, that has just, you I can't even describe the feeling the Epstein files gives me. I can't even cover it because it's so horrible. So I'm struggling to cover that case and all the things that are coming out. But anyway, then I had to put the psychic shield around me and remember I can't save the world, much as we'd like to save the world, wouldn't we? Stop the wars, find all the missing people, help the victims and their families. We can't. We can only do our own little bit. All you can do is your own little bit. And if everybody did their own little bit, of course, there would be no suffering. But of course, we also have to believe, if you believe in God, you have to believe in Satan as well. You have to. You can't have one without the other. If you believe in God, if there's a God, there's a devil. There's good, there's bad, the yin and yang, whatever people want to call it. So we're constantly in a battle, aren't we, to do the right thing. Even in little things, sometimes we do the wrong thing. Even just a little thing. I'm not talking about big things like kidnapping people, but sometimes you think, oh, maybe you park in a disabled space, or maybe you don't wear your seatbelt, or maybe you don't pick your dog poo up, or all these little things that are wrong things to do all the same. We're in a constant battle, aren't we? We're in a constant battle of doing the right thing. And, anyone who says they do the right thing all the time, I'm sorry, I just don't believe you, because we're all human, we're all fallible. And it is like that. Do you remember those Tom and Jerry cartoons, or the cartoons from years ago? And you'd have the consciences on the shoulders, you'd have the little devil mouse, and then on the side, angel mouse, competing for you to do, telling you to do the thing. I think that is how life is, isn't it? Because we all have choices. Some of us have more choices than others. Some people are brought up in very difficult circumstances, and they get involved in bad things, from being young, because of their family lifestyle or their parents, or all sorts of reasons. But of course, a lot of people who come from bad, what you might call bad backgrounds, they don't do those bad things. So there's always a choice, isn't there? There's always a choice. Some people are more easily led than others. They get involved in drugs, or they get involved in gangs. Other people come from exactly the same background, but they don't get involved in those things. Maybe they have better role models in their family, or maybe they just have a stronger personality. So like these people who've taken Nancy, who the hell are they? I just think, who has taken this woman? Why? To me, if you could find the why, you would find the who. I think because it's just inexplicable, isn't it? Anyway, there's been a few developments, and we're going to talk about them. They're not, as I say, not the perpetrators haven't been caught in prison. Attempts are being made to find them. So what are the things I'm going to talk about? So there was a video emerged of a vehicle driving around the area about the time that Nancy had been kidnapped, and that's the first time any vehicle has ever even been suggested, really, isn't it? And we're going to look at that video. And apparently, though, it's come from some door cam video or security video. The people that have released it say the FBI or the law enforcement didn't go to their house and ask for footage. So I don't know. Then we're going to just talk very briefly about Savannah supposedly going to return to her job. She's supposed to have returned to New York. Don't know if it's true or not. And then we're going to talk about something that just totally amazed me, that apparently people are actually laying bets on this case as to when a perpetrator will be arrested, and it's led to a betting frenzy and reports of insider trading and this, that and the other. And I just thought, how are people allowed to do that? I worked in a bookmaker's, Ladbrokes, in the UK for years. I know about betting. How are you allowed? I don't think I can't ever remember bets being put on about when a murderer would be caught, or a kidnapper, I should say. Sorry, because we don't know that Nancy is deceased yet. Like, there would be bets on all sorts of things, like elections, who's going to be the next prime minister. Trying to think of some, the people who, if anybody, would come in and say, can you give me some odds for, I don't know, for Nigel Farage to be prime minister, we would phone up the head office and they would give us a price, and the person could put their bet on. But I've never, ever heard of anyone putting bets on when a murderer would be apprehended. I think that's terrible. That's surely not ethical. But anyway, we're going to look at that as well. So hello, you lovely lurkers. Hope you're all well on this Friday. It's Friday. It's lovely weather here in Spain. A little bit chilly in the morning, but lovely blue skies. The sun's shining at the moment. I think we're going to have some rain over the weekend though. Hi, replay crew. Hope you're all well, looking after yourself, putting up your psychic shields. God, I have to remember mine every morning. If I don't remember to put up my psychic shield, honestly, I end up crying or, just getting really upset about things. So it's very important to protect yourself because you cannot control everything that's going on. You just can't. You've got to think, right, what can I do? Can I do something to help? To me, what I can do to help is spreading awareness, keeping Nancy's name and any other victim, keeping their name out there and giving the information that maybe law enforcement and the family, etc., want to be given out. But I can't do anything else. I can't go and rescue Nancy. I can't even search for her because it's so far away. So I can't do those things. But I can at least spread knowledge about Nancy's case. And that's so I have to remember that. I have to remember what I can do and what I can't do, because otherwise you can start feeling really sort of useless because you all these bad things are happening and you can't do anything about it. Anyway, so I'm going to come into the chat, see who's in the chat on this lovely Friday. We just have to appreciate, if we've got up this morning, if you woke up this morning, you've got out of bed and you put one foot in front of the other, you're doing well, because you have lots of things going on in your own lives. I know that a few of my chatters, a few of the VMC community are having problems at the moment, various problems that they can't control, problems with family. Maybe it's financial problems, maybe it's a combination, maybe it's health problems, maybe it's mental health problems. Life is difficult. There's a lot of things that can go wrong. But we're all here at least for each other, aren't we? Maybe we can't do anything there are some things you just can't change. But all you can do is you can give support and put one foot in front of the other. We have to carry on, don't we? That's what we have to do. If we can carry on, we have to carry on. Good morning, Julie. Good morning, True Crime Movement. Good morning, Lily. Hi, David. Hi, Angel. Yeah, no, my waffle. Yeah, it is a long way, Julie. All right, what's that? Bat market. Oh, I'll write that down. Yeah, my last one I did to get on Amazon, and that was reconditioned. Anyway, you'll see. I think it's working okay at the moment. I think these gadgets have worked. It's a little bit better. Yeah, so let's just talk a bit, first of all, about the possible motives for this. As I say, I just think if you find the why, you're going to find the who. As you say there, David, if this is a ransom, well, it's not a ransom. Can't be a ransom, because those previous ransom demands have been virtually poo-pooed now, really, haven't they? They're not. And, no proof of life was ever given, or even proof of death. Do you know what I mean? There's been nothing like to suggest where Nancy might be, or if she's alive or deceased. So I can't see that it could be ransom, because that would normally, unless there's ransom going on that we've not been told about, maybe there is a ransom thing going on. Maybe just we haven't been told about it. Maybe it went straight to law enforcement, or it went to the family and they were told not to say anything in public. So that's a possibility, of course, that there could be a ransom out there just we don't know about. But then it doesn't normally take 4 weeks, to get to that stage. And now, of course, the family have put forward this $1 million reward. I don't think they'd do that, would they, if they'd already paid a ransom? I don't know. So ransom's the one possibility. 2 is burglary gone wrong. And again, I just don't just doesn't seem right to me, because I think they would have left Nancy there. If they broke in and Nancy woke up and they hurt her, or maybe something happened to her, they would have left her there. Why would they take an 84-year-old woman? Why? And did they deliberately go in there to take her away just to make this family suffer? And as I've said before, it may not be Savannah. You know, we always think it could be centered around Savannah because she's the famous one. But it could be Tommaso that upset someone, or Cameron that upset someone, or Annie, or Nancy herself. You know, we just don't know what theories the police are working with, you know, and the FBI, presumably, they will have looked into all those things. But basically, that's it, isn't it? It either has to be a burglary gone wrong, a kidnapping, maybe a mistaken kidnapping. I mean, they could have kidnapped her thinking she was somebody else, I suppose. But what, apart from that, what else could it be? You know, what else could it be? You know, why would they target Nancy? Feels like she was targeted, doesn't it? Feels like they went in there. Now, maybe there's still something that's kicking around in my head. Maybe she's one of those older people who keeps a lot of money around the house. And although it may not seem that anything's gone, Nancy may well have let it slip to someone that she had large amounts of money in the house. Maybe her own family don't even know that. You know, do you tell your family exactly what you've got hidden around the house? Well, if it was my house, it'd probably be food you would find, because to hide food so that my son doesn't eat it. Because if I just put it all in the fridge, it's gone within like 2 hours. So around my house, you might find bits of food. Sometimes I even forget, you know, that I've put something somewhere, or that because that's for tomorrow, or that's for in 2 days. I mean, you can't do it in the summer because it's too hot, but in the winter you can do it. But yeah, you won't find any money hidden around my house, unfortunately. But yeah, it's possible, isn't it? A lot of older people don't trust, but like to keep quite a lot of money or their jewelry or whatever. I mean, you know, funny places, don't they? They might put them in a pillowcase, or I don't know, under the mattress is the classic sort of joke, isn't it? But joking apart, may well be that Nancy just let something slip one day, and that person, even unwittingly, might have told another person who might have told another person, and then it's got to the ears of someone who's thought, oh, what, she's got $10,000 hidden around the house. Oh, you know, you just don't know, do you? Hi, Mark. Oh, hi, True Crime. Oh, your West Side Crime Show. You changed your name. I like it when people that quite like to change their handles, don't they? Hi, Daniel. So, yeah, you know, we could go on forever, could really, about the possibilities. Yeah, or someone who's just let slip. Oh, you know, that old lady, she lives on her own. And she's not even got an alarm or a dog, and I worry about, you know, someone in all innocence talking to someone that they thought they could trust. And maybe even they could trust them, but they've told somebody else that can't be trusted. You know, Chinese whispers, these ripples go out, throwaway comments that can just lead to someone thinking, oh, she's 84, she lives on her own, she's got all that money around the house. Oh, I'm going to have some of that. Could be. Okay, so first thing I want to have a look at is this vehicle. Have you seen this vehicle? That's suddenly this video's emerged of a vehicle. And of course, this is very reminiscent of what happened with Brian Koberger, wasn't it? It was his Elantra that was seen going away from the property. That was part of how they pinned down Brian Koberger, wasn't it? So is this going to be successful, or anything to do with anything, we just don't know. But let's have a look at it anyway. Just make sure it's sharing. Okay, it's sharing. Let's put the video on. Now, I mean, it's a night cat, you can't see a lot really, but load it down with a bit. So there it is in between the cactuses. I don't know if it's the sort of thing the FBI will be able to make out. Let's watch it again. Yeah, look. Will they be able to do their magic with this? What do you think? I think there are 2 vehicles seen, actually. Let's look. So, who knows if that's enough for the FBI to, to make, to find out what the vehicle is. But, it's something, I suppose, because it's been quite strange that there's been no vehicles. All the people around there, I know it's very dark around there and there's not maybe your normal CCTV camera that you might find in other areas that were more built up. But yeah, in those type of areas, then people tend to have door cams and other alarms and cameras, don't they? Because it's an isolated area. Probably people are more likely to have video cameras because they know there's no street lights and there's no CCTV from traffic lights and things like that. Personally, I haven't got any cameras in my house, but I have got 3 dogs, one of which is a German Shepherd, and I live on the street that really you'd be struggling to break in to any of the places along this road because they're all so close to each other. There's also a big street light right outside. No, I'm not saying somebody couldn't do it because, you can never underestimate some wacko trying to get into your property. If they really want to get in, they will. But they will have to face the 3 dogs, that's for sure, if they do. So they'd probably go to a place that was easier to get into. Unless again they were targeting someone. If you're targeting someone, you're not going to choose the easiest place. You've only got one place you're going to, and that's the place where the person is that you're targeting, isn't it? Let's just watch this again. Do you think this is going to cut? Let me know what you think. Do you think this is going to come to anything? Do you think it's going to be like a Brian Kohberger thing where it's going to prove crucial to the case? Or do you think it just, I mean, what other car would be driving past at 2 o'clock in the morning? I mean, it could be someone coming home from work. It could be someone coming home from a night out. Because, of course, it was Saturday night the night before, so it's possible, I suppose. But, yeah, what do you think? Let me know what you think. Do you think this is going to bear any relevance or not? It's chilling to think that car that's just gone past may contain the perpetrator of this kidnap and possible murder, and may even contain Nancy alive or dead in that car. It's chilling, isn't it, really? So I find this case, I think the reason everybody's so interested in this case is it is chilling. It is chilling that you could be just lying in your bed and got woken up like by a man in a ski mask. You know, it's horrible. Why is it not playing? Anyway, it doesn't matter. We've seen it a couple of times. Yeah. Yeah. The more I watch where Nancy lives, you know, when you see the streamers and everything out there is nothing to protect that property. You know, there's no fence. Anyone, you know, everyone's been rocking up and just treading on the property. Uh, she's had no dog. Did she have an alarm? Well, it didn't go off, did it? She had those cameras, but they weren't connected up. You know, apparently the subscription wasn't paid. And isn't she supposed to be worth millions? Why was the subscription not paid? Had she just, you know, I doubt it was because she couldn't afford the subscription. It probably she just got complacent. Sometimes people, when they live in nice areas where nothing ever happens, which is this area, they get a bit complacent, don't they? And they think that nothing can happen. But things do happen. Just as bad things happen to nice people, bad things happen in nice places. You know, and you can get a bit complacent because I would imagine if you lived in a neighbourhood that was really dangerous with lots of police and drug addicts and God knows what, you'd have all your security systems up to date, wouldn't you? Because you'd know that there's a lot of robberies or there's a lot of problems in your area. But if you live in an area where there aren't normally problems, maybe you get a bit complacent, you know, maybe you get a bit, but you know, as far as I'm concerned, 84 years old, I'm 84, I wouldn't just lived in for years, but I don't get attached to places like that. You know, I love my house, but I would, if I could downsize, I would downsize in a heartbeat. It's not even like her house, but it's got lots of stairs, my house. You know, I'm getting older. I don't want to be walking up and down stairs and cleaning stairs, you know, until I'm 84, if I last that long. I'd love to downsize, little 2-bedroom flat, even a 1-bedroom flat. In fact, sometimes I think I could even live in a mobile home or something like that. It wouldn't bother me to do that because, you know, just the stage I've reached in my life. I mean, it's different when you've got a family, of course. You need a big house and you feel more safe when you've got people around you, don't you, in that? But when you don't need a big house, what's the point of having one? You know, what's the point? Just to clean it or get that, or then you've got to get other people in to clean it. I couldn't be doing with people coming in my house all the time. You know, you like your privacy, you want your privacy, and you could more easily have your privacy either in a granny flat on your, you know, I'm a big in favour of these granny flats and granny pods you can get now. You can buy these granny pods. And it's just, have you seen these granny pods? I think they're brilliant. I'd quite like to live in one. Because you know what, as well, if you lived in a smaller place, in your house, you could be out and about. You only need a little granny pod. So granny pods, let's have a look at these. Maybe one day my son will get me one. I don't think he will. I don't think, I'd rather have a granny pod in somebody else's garden, to be honest. So can you see this? Let me just check. What do you think of granny pods? Oh, I haven't presented it yet. Hang on. Oh yeah, as it's come up, it's come up. Let me read it now. So granny pods are small, detached, often prefabricated backyard homes designed for seniors to live near family while retaining independence. Typically 250 to 900 square feet, they feature accessible one-level layouts with kitchens, baths, and medical monitoring tech. Costs range from $40,000 to over $100,000, often paying for themselves compared to nursing homes. Yeah, because your other alternative, if you've got a senior that you're worried about, to put them in a nursing home, apart from the fact I'd hate to be in a nursing home. Oh, God. God. But, you know, I'd much rather be in a granny pod. So their key features and benefits: safety, accessibility, medical integration. So you can put in video surveillance, pill dispensers, vital sign monitoring, independence and convenience. Let's have a look at some more images of them. Yeah, that's what they could have done with for Nancy, isn't it? A granny pod in the garden. Look, they're brilliant. No, it's fine. Yeah, I'd be quite happy with a granny pod, thank you. Right, let's just go back to this video again a minute. So yeah, poor Nancy, whatever happened, she was not safe in that great big sprawling house. Didn't even have a fence round it. You know, didn't sort of, yeah, she wasn't safe there, but that's the benefit of hindsight, isn't it? But, you know, probably people think, who is going to break into this house and kidnap an 84-year-old woman? You know, if somebody talks about this, I don't know, in a true, not a true crime story, sorry, a story, you know, a fictional story, people would say, oh, that's a bit far-fetched. Who would kidnap an 84-year-old woman? But somebody did, sadly. Somebody did. Very, very sad for Nancy. What else? So, yeah, the other thing I wanted to tell you about was just that now they're saying that Savannah, there's these rumours going around that Savannah is going to return to her presenting job, return to New York, I think it is, where she's based. And I saw these headlines, I think it was the Daily Mail. Oh, Savannah Guthrie abandons Tucson. She's not abandoning it. I mean, what a horrible thing to say, like making it sound like, oh, she don't care if her mother's found anymore. She's abandoned Tucson and gone back to New York to her job. You know, well, she can't not work forever because, you know, she may have a few bob in the bank, but she won't have for much longer if she doesn't work, will she? So anyway, you can't just sit around. You need something to occupy you as well, don't you? When any sort of tragedy happens, I think it can be worse just sitting at home and just thinking about it. You know, she's got to a point where 4 weeks have gone by. She's done some appeals, hasn't she? And I'm sure she'll do more appeals as time goes on. But what else can she physically do? Just sit on her hands and, you know, think about what's happening to her mother, but not knowing. So she needs to work. You need to work to occupy yourself. I know when my friend was run over many, many years ago, and I was up at the hospital all night with her family, and that she was in intensive care. And the next day, I'd only had about, I don't know if I'd had any sleep, but I wasn't going to go to work. My parents were saying to me, oh, don't go to work, don't go to work. And I said, well, what else can I do? Just sit here at home and think about if she's going to die or not. So I went to work, and it was really surreal feeling because I was working at the Social Security then on the reception, and all the people coming in, like, you know, that I was dealing with. And it's like you want the world to stop, don't you? It's like, don't you know my friend has been run over and she's in intensive care, and all these people are just carrying on the same, you know, because they don't even know her, you know, so it's no difference to their lives. It's like everything's going in slow motion and you just want to scream at people. Don't you know what is happening? Now, of course, with Savannah, it is happening, and she knows that people know what's happening. And she acknowledged, didn't she, in her last appeal, thank you for all the prayers, etc. whatever faith you are, or even if you've got no faith at all, thank you for the best wishes. Thank you for thinking about us. It was very emotive that, there's people of all sort of faiths, denominations, political persuasion. They're all praying that this family get an answer. So yeah. Okay, so I just want to show you. Somebody did get arrested last night. Well, I don't know if you're out there watching JLR, good old JLR. He was there all day like he is. He does these really long streams, doesn't he? And last night, all day yesterday, he was there. But funnily enough, oh, hang on, I'm pressing the wrong button here. Funnily enough, he did not catch this. So just as he packed up his live and off he went, he got a rude awakening, because then some random guy apparently was driving up and down outside Nancy Guthrie's house after dark with a photo of Nancy on his phone. A guy who didn't speak English, stinking of marijuana. Marijuana's got such a distinctive, it makes me feel sick when I smell it, to be honest. I don't know how people can stand it. And he was arrested by the sheriffs, and some of the other streamers were there, and they did catch it. I'm going to try and find a video of it. And this, it just made me think again what I've been saying for a little while now. Why are they not making appeals in Spanish? If they think there's any possibility that the people who did this are Hispanic, and even though they might be speak English, that doesn't mean say their mum and their dad speak English, or the rest of their family, maybe their family in Mexico, their grandma, their granddad, wherever it is they're hiding out, then maybe they don't speak English and don't know what all the fuss is about and everything. So I do think it's strange, and I think it would be important to put these appeals out in Spanish as well. And on the Spanish news, the Mexican news. I mean, it's all over the Spanish news here in Spain. There's a lot about it. But, there's no appeals, as far as I know, gone out in Spanish, but it seems logical to me. So anyway, this guy has turned up at Nancy Guthrie's house last night, stoned, with a picture of Nancy. He's been arrested by the police, and his car has been towed away. He's unlikely to have anything to do with the actual event. But what is he even doing there, and why does he not speak English? Because he is in America at the end of the day. You think most Hispanic people in America do speak English, I would imagine. So where's he come from? What's his story? Let's have a look if I can find the actual video of him. Oh, that's another one that I wanted to talk about. I think JLR did share the video that he got off somebody else, someone called Dad's Gone Live or something. So, and of course, JLR in his inimitable style says, "Oh, the wackadoodles are out." Wackadoodle outside Nancy Guthrie's home just disrupted my beauty sleep. Oh dear. So he's shown a video. Let's have a look at this video. So deputies arrested a man in front of Nancy Guthrie's house. Deputy drove his car away. The man was acting suspiciously with a picture of Nancy Guthrie on him and smelled like marijuana. Right, I'm going to show you the video now. So yeah, who is this guy? What's he doing there? Maybe he was just stoned, and I don't know. Or maybe he does know something. Do you know what? Why doesn't he speak English if he's in America? It's odd. Let's watch this. Let's make sure it's sharing. Okay, let's see. He's sat there with his door open. I think that's him in that blue car, and the sheriff's going over to him. Or is that him the sheriff driving him away? And that's the other sheriff taking his car away, maybe. Yeah. So there were still some reporters there from social media reporters who got the footage. There's a set of pictures somewhere. There's actual pictures of the guy somewhere. Here he is. Right, let's have a look. Here's the guy. So this is the guy. What's he doing there? What's he got to do with it? So apparently a guy drove by Nancy's house 50 to 100 times going really slow. And when one of the reporters went to talk to him, they saw he had a picture of Nancy on his phone. And the deputies were talking to him for 25 minutes, according to Brian Ensign. Let's see. This might be a better video. Let's have a look. Oh, someone's saying that it looks AI generated. I don't think it is AI generated. JLR.
Dad's gone live. Check out his YouTube channel. Some wackadoodle here was driving around here multiple times, back and forth, and he had a picture of Nancy Guthrie inside his vehicle. And apparently,
hang on, I can't see if I'm sharing it or not. Let me just check. Yeah.
he smelled like marijuana. And what's going on? What happened here?
Well, a guy outside their car. So I got off and I smelled marijuana pretty bad. I was told that when he was approached, he had a picture of Nancy Guthrie on his phone, and he just pointed at it. He didn't speak any English. He only spoke Spanish. And I overheard the cops when they're doing the translation. He believes that he saw somebody that may look like Nancy, and that's why he was scoping out the neighborhood. He was trying to find out where it's at and see if it was the same woman. From my interpretation of what the cops are translating. So when one cop was translating, the other cop was saying it. I do have it recorded, but I don't know if it's actually recorded.
Did he catch a DUI charge?
Don't know.
But he got taken away. Because the officer was just in here. Oh, what do we got?
So real fast, this is all I give permission to is JLR. I have to say that.
Thank you.
So, let's see.
Whoa. And check out Dad's gone live because he's out here streaming. You're out here streaming all throughout the night.
So this is them talking to him. No English. So that's the man right there.
You have a license?
I don't know. They didn't say anything about that. Let's go back.
I bet JLR was raging. He's been out there on a 12-hour stream or something. And then he decides to go to bed because nothing's happening and all this happened. But luckily this guy from Dad's Gone Live, I think his YouTube channel is called He Sounds Like a Nice Guy. He shared all his images with JLR. So yeah, what's that about?
Wild stuff. So bringing out the wackadoodles.
The wackadoodles. He does make me laugh when the wackadoodles.
You gave me some action tonight.
I'm moving my car in 1 second. I'm finishing up. Thank you.
So that's him right here. Are you live right now?
No.
Okay.
What?
Yeah, so that's him talking through somebody on his phone trying to translate. I don't really understand what they were talking about.
But I just saw authorities take his car, like without
So
him.
because he says that he thinks he wanted to see if the person that he saw is Nancy Guthrie. From the translation I got.
No, he wants to see if the person he thought he saw was Nancy Guthrie. Well, but she's not at her house, though, is she? I mean, where did he see her? We don't know where he supposedly saw her. He thinks he saw her, according to what this guy overheard him say. But why would he go to a house? Because she's been kidnapped from there. He's not going to see her there, is he? Very odd. Do you think he would go to the police station, really? I mean, did he hear about the $1 million reward? Because this is the other problem. It's brilliant that there's such a massive reward out for information about Nancy, but it does bring out the wackadoodles, as JLR calls them, the whack jobs, or, you know, there will be people out there thinking, oh, $1 million, I thought I saw that woman. But I'm surprised he went to her house, unless he went to speak to the sheriffs. So they've driven off his car. Maybe they didn't want him getting back in his car because he was too sort of high as a kite. Maybe he'd been drinking as well. He'd definitely been smoking marijuana. So maybe that's why they took his car off. Or maybe they've took it off to forensically examine it, because, you know, somebody who turns up at a crime scene like that, they don't know that he's not connected, do they?
Yeah.
It sounds like they're going to take it, like, just, they have to investigate every angle, right?
Yeah.
So they're going to get it out of here. They're going to request permission for them to tow it. And then I didn't hear them say we're going to charge him with a DUI. I just saw them do a field sobriety test. I got plenty of that recorded. Don't for anything. Don't know if his car is being impounded, but they want to take his car, quote unquote, down to the realtor spot where the realtor office is at the end of the neighborhood, and get it out of here, away from all this. Talking, I'm assuming cameras in the Nancy Guthrie area, because, but it did smell like marijuana. It really, really did. So
Wackadoodles are coming out. Check out Dad's Going Live out here streaming all night. Thank you.
And real fast, I can't say that it's related. I can just say that it happened from the Nancy Guthrie house.
Right.
Whoa. So
this
is some wild stuff, folks. Came out here.
Might not be related to the actual kidnapping, but it's related to Nancy Guthrie, isn't it? Because he's there at Nancy Guthrie's house. He's shown a picture of Nancy Guthrie. He said he thought he'd seen Nancy Guthrie. So if you want to check out the full, I haven't watched the full video. It's at that guy's channel is called Dad's Gone Live on YouTube. I might have a look at it in a bit, but yeah. So yeah, JLR's been there bloody 12 hours every day, and unfortunately missed that because he didn't think anything was going to happen at night, but it did.
Thought maybe somebody was involved with the Nancy Guthrie disappearance, but this is what happens. It's like a beacon ground, and it draws the people out here. So you can see the scene out here, what it looks like when it gets dark. Have the wonderful News Nation out there, and Brian Enton still out in the field. Look at Brian Enton done his reporting, and check out his video too, because he got something.
Yeah, he'll have something about it, because there's JLR, poor JLR. He decided to have an early night for once. He's been there since 4 o'clock in the morning. But it just shows you never know what's going to happen, do you? I mean, you could stand there all night and nothing might happen. But that was quite, that's something that JLR definitely would have liked to have caught.
We filmed it out here too. News Nation is running strong out here. Look how dark it is. Look how dark it is.
Isn't it?
This is my vehicle here. By the way, there's no parking allowed on the street. So JLR investigates out in the field. I'll be back out here early morning, first light. We'll see what happens. I think maybe the FBI will be on the other side of Campbell tomorrow, maybe going around looking for footage because of that newly released video of this white vehicle, a Kia Soul, that was seen a little bit after 2:30 a.m. in the morning, about 1.9 miles away. It's going to be interesting with that. Could that car be connected to the case? Unclear. So sub to the channel, like, hit the notification button. Out here covering the Nancy Guthrie case. Where is Nancy Guthrie? We will talk soon. JLR Invest.
Exactly. That is the $1 million question. Now, another interesting thing about cars in this case is the car, Annie and Tommaso's car. So Annie is the other daughter of Nancy, and her husband is Tommaso, who came under suspicion because of Ashley Banfield saying that he was under suspicion. Unfortunately, he got a lot of shade cast at him from that. Anyway, they did tow away Annie and Tommaso's car because it was Annie and Tommaso who saw Nancy last. Nancy apparently got an Uber just up the road to where Annie and Tommaso live, and then didn't get an Uber back. Tommaso brought her back to the house. Apparently, he was the last person to see her. So you can understand that people will think about that, because quite often it is the last person that sees someone. Anyway, the garage door opened, but we don't have any footage of Nancy going into the house. Whether the law enforcement have that footage, we don't know. But anyway, the garage door opened and closed. Tommaso said Nancy was fine. He, I presume, went home after that, back to his house. And then nothing's really been said about what Annie and Tommaso did after that. Some people are still suspicious of Tommaso, even though Sheriff Nanos, the problem is you can't believe a word Sheriff Nanos says. One day he was saying, no, everyone's under suspicion. Then about 2 days later, he said, oh, well, the family and their spouses have all been cleared, and have been since the early days, so he just contradicts himself continually. So unfortunately, people have lost faith in what Sheriff Nanos says. So even when he said that the family and their spouses are cleared, there's sort of part of us that still thinks, are they though? Are they though? Because, Sheriff Nanos has said a lot of things that turned out not to be true. The biggest thing, of course, he said, was in that second press conference when twice he said it happened on the Saturday night. One time he even said Sunday first and then backtracked and said Saturday. So this man, we don't believe anything that comes out of his mouth. But if we did believe it, Tommaso has been cleared. Then there were all these conspiracy theories or rumours that he'd gone to Italy to watch the bloody Olympics. He'd done this. Anyway, as far as I've gathered from people I've heard who I think are reputable, though you never know anymore, saying that Tommaso is a teacher, he's carried on working, he's the parents of the children that he teaches have come out in support of him. And so take it, at the end of the day, you just have to take it for what you think, or I'd like to see Tommaso cleared properly, like by the FBI, really, to be honest, because as I said, I don't believe Sheriff Nanos. And I feel it's awful what's happened to Tommaso, which leads me to another story that has just come out, which is about a friend of Tommaso who also was included in all these suspicions. And let's have a look at that. Oh, hang on, I think you lost me. I think you might have lost me there for a minute, but I think I'm back now. But just confirm for me that I'm back. I think I'm back. So yeah, so another story that's come out is about Tommaso's friend, Dominic. And he has come out and said in a publication that because he has a loose connection to the Guthrie family, also because he had a 1999, now bear in mind that's 27 years ago, arrest for drunkenly stealing some things at a bar, that was enough to make him a prime suspect for some people. So let's have a look. And his name's Dominic Evans. Now, JLR, I'm afraid, himself did. So here's Tommaso. Right in the beginning, JLR was casting a bit of shade at Tommaso. And, as I say, the last person to see someone alive is always going to be the main suspect. Also, he's foreign, he's Italian, you know, and JLR, much as I love him, he's very down on the foreigners. So he had said in a tweet a while ago, I think it's JLR, he's got a lot of clout, he's got a lot of followers, loads, millions, loads. So, and he'd said, I think everyone in that inner circle should be looked at and fully vetted, including this guy, Dominic Evans. Now, seems obvious that everyone in Tommaso's circle should be vetted, but I don't think you should really go into names because, now he's been reviled just for his, knowing Tommaso. And because he's got arrests for burglary, robbery, embezzlement, and DUI. And really, JLR should know better than that, because if anyone's changed their life around, it's JLR, of course, who is himself a convicted felon. He doesn't hide it. He served prison time. He speaks openly about it. I believe everyone should have a second chance. But it's funny, it's like someone who gives up smoking. They're always the most anti-smoking people, aren't they? The ex-smokers are always the worst for being anti-smoking. This is how I feel about JLR sometimes. He sort of made mistakes in his life, went to prison for it, served his time. But he needs to maybe give people a bit of a break, because this guy has got a history. But what this guy is saying, so what the being accused, if you like, or brought to people's attention meant for him was days off work, nights hiding in a bedroom with his wife, worried about people outside idling in their cars on his block and knocking on his neighbours' doors. And that is also how his 6-year-old child spent their first night ever away from them. Because I presume it was because he was prevented from being with them, is it? So yeah, this is, let's see. So I think that was unfair of JLR, and I do like JLR is dedicated to, I know I'm all for people getting a second chance, but you've got to be careful about naming other people and then bringing up their previous convictions from 20 odd years ago. This guy's turned his life around, and then he ended up in a position where he couldn't go out, and his child got took away for a night from them. So, if you want people to sort of sympathise with your cause and how you've changed, really, you should be kinder, I think, to other people who've gone through a similar thing. Do you see what I'm saying? It's not. I don't like criticising JLR, because I do like him, and I think he's got a lot of dedication to his streams. And I know, people donate a lot of money to him, but you know what? That's their choice. And he is there for 12 hours at a time. And of course, he'd be paying for everything himself, his cars, his equipment, staying in hotels, etc., his flights to get there or whatever. So, I've got nothing to say in that sense about JLR, but I think it was a bit unfair what he said about this guy. That's all I'd say. Anyway, let me know what you think, as always. Because they say people in glass houses, they shouldn't throw stones. I think we all live in glass houses, don't we? If there's any one of you that are going to put your hand up and say, "Oh, I've never done anything wrong in my life, not even 25 years ago, not even 40 years ago, never," I just, that's a lie right there as far as I'm concerned. Unless you are, some people maybe are perfect. It's murder being perfect, isn't it? It's like, but I know I'm not perfect. I've done a lot of things in my life that I'm not proud of. They don't include kidnapping 84-year-old women or murdering anyone or any of those sort of things. I'm talking about little things, little indiscretions. I'm a human being, and I was young once and I did stupid things. Anyway, so there's just one more thing I want to talk about, and this is this betting scandal or betting frenzy that seems to have broken out, which I just cannot believe that betting shops are allowed to take bets. How dare they? How dare they give odds on when? How dare they give odds on when Nancy's case will be solved? I think it's terrible, really do. So anyway, apparently, according to this, what is it? Mebane Enterprises says online betting frenzy. Sorry, I don't want to subscribe. Anyway, go away. Online betting frenzy linked to Nancy Guthrie's case triggers insider trading investigation calls. Oh, I expect Trump is having a bit of that. Gamblers are profiting from the tragic disappearance of 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie, mother of NBC Today host Savannah Guthrie, as prediction market Polymarket allows wagers on her suspected kidnapper's arrest. Oh my God, you know what? What? That the FBI need to shut that down right now. I think that's terrible. Over $188,000 has been bet on whether an arrest will occur by February the 28th. Well, today's the 27th, dwarfing the FBI's $100,000 reward. Odds have plummeted from a high of 57% to just 2%, leaving early yes bettors at risk of losses, while no wagers could yield big payouts. Nancy Guthrie vanished on the 1st of February 2026 from her home in Arizona, prompting a massive FBI-led search. A ransom note referenced a Bitcoin wallet that later showed activity, and surveillance footage captured a masked suspect, fueling public outcry. And her family has upped rewards to $1 million for tips, yet no breakthroughs have emerged as of February the 27th. So, initial Polymarket odds hit 78% for an arrest by month's end, admit early leads like wallet transactions. Right, now it gets into the numbers, which I'm not very good with numbers, but Polymarket's betting mechanics. Polymarket differs from traditional sports books. Yes, sports books, these are supposed to be for betting on sport. Nancy Guthrie's kidnapping is not a sport, for God's sake. By letting users trade shares based price from $0 to $1, reflecting crowdsourced probabilities. E.g., 60 cents signals a 60% chance if the event happens, and yes shares pay $1, otherwise they expire worthless. Can you believe it? Scrutiny intensified after competitor Kalshi banned YouTuber Mr. Beast's editor Artem Kaptor for 2 years and fined him $20,000 over precise bets using insider video knowledge, referring the case to authorities. Another suspension hit ex-California candidate Kyle Langford for undisclosed violations. Polymarket lacks similar safeguards, no robust insider bans or verification, which prompts experts to decry minimal regulation. Analyst Daniel O'Boyle warned of harmful incentives where bettors might tamper with probes. Look, to me, I don't give a toss about all that. My question is, how is anyone allowed to bet on when Nancy's perpetrators might be arrested? This is not a game. This is not sport. This is not the baseball, the basketball, the Super Bowl. This is a woman's life. Don't you think it's disgusting? Oh, I couldn't believe my eyes when I first read it. I thought, what lows do people have to sink to that they will bet? They will lay bets on when Nancy's abductors are brought to justice or arrested. I'm surprised they're not offering bets on whether she's alive or dead. You know, what's wrong with people? Is there no depths that can't be sunk to? This is not a Super Bowl game. This is a woman's life, an 84-year-old grandmother's life. Terrible, isn't it? Hi. It's a funny old world. It really is a funny old world. So that's what I had to tell you about today. I wanted to tell you about the video of the vehicle. Do you think that's going to be anything significant, or do you think it's not related? I wanted to tell you about the guy being arrested last night. I expect we'll find a lot more about him today, won't we? When America wakes up shortly, JLR will be up at the crack of dawn. He's probably been up all night trying to find out more about this guy. Let's just look at the CCTV again of the actual. So these are the two photos. Are these taken on different days? You know, my only thing about them being taken on different days, though, seems like they are saying that now. Because if the guy came on a previous day to, you know, have a look around Nancy's house, why was he so caught out by the camera the second time? Why did he have to go and get those plants to cover up the camera or take it down? Why wasn't he prepared with something else? You know, why? Or did he just not spot it that first time? Very odd, that, to me. If they did go to case the joint, why did they not take something with them to disable the camera? Why were they reduced to using a handful of plants? And this is that picture. I still look at it and I think, I don't know, this person hasn't got some disguise even under their mask. Like the eyes, very dark eyes. It does look like eyeliner, but it could be just the light. As we've said, a lot of Mediterranean, Arabic, Hispanic men have got very dark eyelashes. Yeah. Can't tell really, can you? And this, of course, is Tommaso. I mean, it certainly doesn't look like Tommaso on there. You know, I know it's hard to tell because there's a ski mask on, but I don't know. The eyes don't look like Tommaso's to me. But that doesn't mean to say that Tommaso was not involved, of course. And of course, there's Nancy. Of course, a big thing to me is what was in the rucksack? Why was there a full rucksack taken into Nancy's home? Very odd, very odd. Now, I wonder if there was something that I found earlier that I thought might make you laugh. We need a laugh, don't we? Is, again, JLR, good old JLR. He'd put a video up of some coyotes. Let's find it. He was outside Annie and Tommaso's house, and these coyotes were going absolutely wild. Let's see if I can find it easily. I may have lost it now. Thing is, you find videos and think, oh, that looks interesting, and if you don't put it to one side or leave it open, it disappears. Where is this coyote video? Let's find it now. The only reason I was going to play it, because it is quite interesting to listen to. These coyotes are going absolutely wild. But also, then when I played it, my dog, the big dog, she started going mad. Oh, here it is. Let's see if we can. Let's see if she'll listen to it now. So I played the video just for me to watch it, and you can hear. Oh, So you've got the sirens going and the coyotes going. That's another reason why it's not safe to live in this neighbourhood. Bloody hell, if you've not got men in balaclavas coming onto your porch, taking down your camera, you've got coyotes, you've got cactuses that you could prick yourself on. It's not a safe area, is it? Bloody hell, it's pitch black. Of course, the dog's not making any sound this time. She's making a liar out of me. Let me just play it one more time. She's just completely ignoring it this time. Yeah. And there's those jabalis as well. We in Spain we have those. We call them jabalis. And you know, in fact, I was thinking I might do some footage. They went near where I live, there are mountains very similar to these ones. I thought, God, I could almost do a video and say I was in Arizona because of the backdrop, the mountains that are near me. It's a very similar desert landscape, not right where I am, but not far away from where I am. In fact, not far away from where I am, that's where they shot a lot of the spaghetti westerns, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, and the Clint Eastwood films. It's a very similar, the cactuses aren't as big as these ones. Of course, everything's bigger in America, isn't it? But it's a very similar terrain. And we have the Haberleys as well. But yeah, she's not howling at all now. When I played this video earlier today, when I was just watching it, she started howling. My dog started howling and barking because she could hear the coyotes, but she must have sussed out now they're not here. Oh. Yeah, she's not barking at all now. So she, although you know, dogs and kids, they always make liars out of you, don't they? But yeah, it's not a safe place to live. This is it. If it's not the burglars that will get you, or the say the balaclavaed men, and the or the cactus, or the fact that it's so isolated and dark, then there's the bloody coyotes frightening you to death. I couldn't sleep there, so vulnerable. I think Nancy was very vulnerable, and not only Nancy, I suppose anybody else who lives in that area. Apparently, there's been a big increase in people buying new security cameras and updating their security. I'm not bloody surprised. It's God. It seems like every 5 minutes there's some of the videos that have come out. That aren't related to the Nancy case of men on patios or throwing rucksacks over walls. Or it's not a safe place, not in my opinion anyway, not for an 84-year-old vulnerable person. So yeah. Julie, how do you know that Haberleys are smelly? I haven't been that close to one. I have seen them, but they tend to be in the woods and that. You don't tend to see them. Hi, Admit. Yeah, we've got husky here as well, Julie, just up the road. Did you know that normal dogs, I say normal dogs, not as if huskies aren't normal dogs, of course they are. At no point in barking now. You were supposed to bark before when we had the coyotes on. Coyotes have finished now. No barking. You're not allowed now. You know, it's a typical, she don't bark when I want her to bark to illustrate the point of the coyotes. And then as soon as I don't want her to bark, because I'm talking about someone else, she starts barking because there's a dog outside. But yeah, we've got husky a few doors down. And did you know that sort of other dogs don't like huskies? They actually hate them. I think it's the eyes. They are quite, I mean, they're beautiful dogs, but they've got this, their eyes look like they're frowning, don't they? And this husky up the road, it's so calm. My dogs go mental when we come out. If I'm going out to the car and the guy's going past with the husky, which always is like seems to happen all the time. It's like gang stalking. My dogs go mad, and this husky just stares at him. It's really quite disconcerting, and it doesn't bark back. It just looks at him like they, you know, with that expression that they have on their face. And my dogs are going mad, like jumping in the car, like that, going absolutely mad about nothing. Because this husky isn't even barking. It's not even coming towards them. It's just standing there looking at them. But somebody told me that dogs in general don't like huskies. It's something to do with the eyes. Or maybe they remind them of wolves. I don't know what it is. But yeah, and that husky, sometimes when the owners go out, they leave it on the front patio. And it howls, just like you say, just like those coyotes, where it howls and howls until the owners come back. So, but they are beautiful dogs. I think it's funny to have a husky in Spain because it gets so hot. But then I suppose that's the same as a German Shepherd. But of course, then I don't know about huskies. But German Shepherds, they molt, don't they? They shed all their winter fur, and then they get like a summer coat instead, which I presume is lighter. Sorry, just a message coming through there. Okay, so that's it. That's the latest. We'll see what today's got to bring. So today's day 27, or we'll be coming into day 27 when America wakes up of what happened to this poor woman. I'm just going to carry on praying. What else can I do? Where is Nancy? Where is she? Is she alive? If she's alive, where is she? Who's keeping her? If she's not alive, which it doesn't seem likely, but you never know. Again, where is she? Where have they put her? Have they buried her in Mexico? You know, and why aren't the appeals being done in Spanish as well as English? Okay. So I'll be back tonight for Members Live, where we'll be looking at some unexplained mysteries. Or at least one, anyway. I've not decided which one I'm going to do yet. I'm sort of spoilt for choice, really. The creepy things I've been watching, like really mysterious things, police body cams that were mysterious, ghost experiences that were mysterious. We're going to do something like that. So if you're a member, I'll see you later for the Members Live. If not, why not come and join us? Why not think about becoming a member? But certainly, please subscribe. Please like the video. These are free ways you can support my channel. And thank you to everyone that supported me with Ko-fi, sent me a super sticker or supported me in any of the ways. Sent a Bizoom or sent Western Union is another one. Thank you so much. Prayers for Nancy. Do you think today will bring news? I hope so. I hope so. I hope. Let's just hope that while we've all been asleep and then talking about it, the FBI and the law enforcement have been narrowing down this person, and hopefully they're going to find them today. So thank you so much. I'll see you really soon in the next video. And until then, may your God go with you. Bye bye.